Scheduling sucks. Managing your calendar is painful. If you're still the one that's booking meetings and rescheduling and figuring out where the 100 things need to go, you're doing it wrong. Start with the perfect week. Check out this video. Today I'm going to teach you about the perfect week framework that I learned that bought me back at least 8 hours a week in my calendar, and it starts with keys to victory. So number one, keys to victory to follow the perfect week framework. I have 3 tips as you set this up. Number one is you want logs, not splinters. What the heck do I mean by that? Most of you have splinters of time in your calendar. Half hour here, 60 minutes here, a couple hours there, a couple hours here, all over the place. And you're not batching like activities together. It's killing, you're paying the switching costs all the time, managing your calendar, rebooking things. So when I say logs, we want chunks of time, 3 to 4 hours at a time, not splinters of time throughout the calendar. 2 is going to be recurring tasks. Part of the perfect week is getting all of your daily, weekly, monthly recurring tasks in the calendar so you never have to think about it again. Once you start batching those in, you're buying back time. The third one is color priority. Color priority means when you're setting up in your Google Cal, your Microsoft Cal, whatever you're using as your tool, you want to block the time, but you want to attach a color to it. So visually, when you're looking at your calendar, you're looking at what's external and what's internal. That's how I block my time. So my urgency goes to, here are the external meetings that I have, so I know I need to prep. I know if I need to reschedule, it's going to impact someone that I'm doing business with. Versus an internal meeting, maybe you have a little more flexibility with those. Color code everything so that visually it's easier for you to identify what's happening. Now that we've gone through the 3 keys to victory, we don't want splinters in your calendar. We want logs, big chunks of time. We need to book all of our recurring tasks and meetings in the calendar, even if it's a time block and not an actual meeting. That's the key. And then color prioritize the calendar so you can visually know what to focus on. Boop! Quick commercial break. We're about to get into the juicy details. I just wanted to let you know, if you engage in my content, if you subscribe to my page, I look at every single one. And I'm here to serve, not to sell. I'm out here trying to help and teach people what's worked for me in scaling my agencies. Thanks for listening. Cool. Now that we got that sorted, the perfect week is looking like I've got work days up here and then Saturday and Sunday. That's extra credit. If you want a perfect week, your weekends, DM me, I'm here for it. I'm talking about the work week. The way I usually block this out is I start at 6 a.m. and I end at 6 p.m. The first step in this process is you want to start in your mind thinking about what are the things that I most spend my time on. So for me, I'm going to put in coaching calls as an example. Now, I might choose to only do coaching calls for a certain period of the day and certain days per week. And it's a big chunk of time. So I'm going to add those in on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Now, when you're starting to think about what do I put in first into my perfect week, start with the things that have the biggest chunks of time, the biggest logs that you can think of, whether that's client work or coaching or projects, whatever it might be, start there. So as an example, for me, I spend a lot of time coaching. So I'm going to put in these 2 blocks of time for coaching calls on Tuesdays and Wednesdays in the afternoon. Coaching calls. All right, what else do I do besides coaching? I have internal team meetings. So I'm going to add those to my Monday afternoons because I know that I always want to take my internal team meetings on Mondays before the week gets ahead of us and sync with everybody that's really important in my world. So I'm going to set that up for Monday afternoons. Now on Thursdays, lo and behold, we're here on a Thursday doing what? We're filming content. So I've got my Thursdays blocked out for content, and Fridays are blocked out for strategic thinking and projects. Well, hey, that's really cool, Ken. I basically have my days blocked out from 1 to 5 or 1 to 6 every weekday, okay? So you're thinking about what are the things that I do all the time so that when I get a request for a meeting, a new client comes in, I have an internal request for a sync, me or my EA, your EA, knows exactly where to put those meetings. Now up here, I have a similar sequence. I have the same routines in the morning every single day. So 6 a.m. is coffee and a walk. I do a daily walk. If you're not doing it, what a great hack to introduce. Getting outside every morning, getting your mind out. Every single day of the week, I drink coffee. You probably do too. Every day of the week, I also go for a daily walk. My next is fitness. Every day of the week, if you're not watching my Instagram stories to see that I work out, break a sweat, do an activity every day. Why do I do that and how do I do that? Because it's time blocked. Every single day, 8 to 9 a.m., I'm doing the same shit. Now, I have my next set of meetings, which is my daily sync with my EA. If you don't have an EA and you're struggling with your calendar, please call for help. You need to get an EA in your life. It's the one person I meet with every single day. It's my partner in all of my businesses. I have a daily power meeting with my EA from 9 to 10 a.m. My next block is open for new business. So open for networking and opportunities. So from 10 to 11:30, I have spots for new people, new introductions, new things that are coming into my world. They all fit in the same spot. And as you can imagine, if any of you are using Calendly or Google Meeting links, you can customize these so you can have one for new business, and the new business fits exactly with the block here. You can have one for clients or coaching. Those are going to line up here. Everything starts to develop a system so that the 100 decisions that you've been making during the week about rescheduling and where things go, it all just fits in the calendar. You're removing the decision making from your day. And again, ideally you have an EA supporting you so that you don't have to think about this in the first place. You have to set up the perfect week. It's the biggest productivity hack. And finally, I have a lunch block. Every day I need to eat, right? Well, why should I not block that time out and have the lunch hour pass me and I haven't eaten and I've got to jump into the rest of my day? So you can see for me, I would say I'm on version 3 of my perfect week. So you might have more splinters than this in your version 1 of doing a perfect week if this is your first time. All I have to say is look at your schedule, go back a couple of weeks, look at the time that's actually been booked, look ahead a couple of weeks, see what recurring meetings and future things are planned, get an idea of what are the biggest chunks that you can put. You don't have to stack yours like I did. You can have different blocks and different times of the day, but however you approach it, if you time block, you're going to buy time back. You're going to remove the decisions throughout your day. As a founder, an owner-operator, these are essentials. I got to give a shout out to my coach, Dan Martell. The Perfect Week Framework I learned from his book, Buy Back Your Time. Check it out if you haven't. It's an amazing read, one of my top 3 books of all time. He talks about how to set up a perfect week, how to enroll an EA and what that roadmap looks like. I've integrated in everything that I'm doing. And this framework right here literally will save you 8 hours a week as a founder owner operator. Peace.